Okay, Carl Edwards has joined us. He drives the number 99 Aflac Ford. Ninth in points, ninth seed right now, heading into the chase. And Carl, pretty much a clean sheet of paper as we head into this next 10 races, and certainly there's a great opportunity out there for you.
Yeah, a huge opportunity for us, and it's this first practice was great. I believe we're the fastest in first practice. We had a little trouble with timing and scoring, so I'm not certain of that, but I think that the qualifying is going to be very important here. We focused on it today. Track position is going to be important. It's very difficult to pass, and the way we've run the last couple of weeks, I feel very confident. For our chances, to get a good start to the chase here at Loudon.
Questions for Carl? If you have one, raise your hand. We'll start in the front row with Mike.
Mike MikeHembrySpeed.com. Looking at the 10 tracks, is Talladega the one you fear the most because of the uncertainty, or is there another one?
I think everyone fears Talladega the most. You know what I mean? And it is. It's because of that uncertainty, because anything can happen. But that can go two ways. You can also look at that place as an opportunity. If you play it smart and you have a little bit of luck, you can maybe gain ground on people there. So it could go either way. So for that reason, Talladega is kind of a wash. Makes you nervous, but you never know. The one that worries me a little bit is this one worries me a little bit. Because we've had kind of an up and down record. But I think Charlotte is the one that worries me the most. For some reason, we've run very well in the mile and a half, but that one, the way the tire works with the racetrack, it's just that we've had days where we just were terrible. So I think that's the one that performance-wise I'm worried about.
Next question. Who has it? Right here. Angelique has one.
Hi,
hey.
Angelique Shingalis, ESPN. Can you talk about, are there any disadvantages to having teammates in the chase, or are they all advantages? And my second question is this the most open competition for the chase?
Yeah, having teammates in the chase, the disadvantage, the only one would be if you're not, if you start to get competitive too much with your teammates. You're both competing for the same things. So, all three of us are competing for the same thing. So at the beginning of this, all of us want to get a jump on the other one. And as long as we can keep that a healthy, competition, then it's good. I think the advantage is that we've struggled for so long that we've kind of built a I think a better bond as teammates in the shop and on the racetrack. And I think that all three of us being out there gives us a chance to work together all weekend from the start to the finish, and I think that's good.
Next question. Right over there. Go ahead, sir, to the far right.
Paul Sherringman, Adnock Radio Group. Carl, you mentioned how hard it is to pass here, and yet in June we saw guys running full laps side by side. Why is it? How do you reconcile those two facts?
Well, see, that's exactly it. You run for laps side by side because you can't complete the pass. You know what I mean? It looks good, but it's hard to pass. So let's say you were out there running around, and I was 0.2 of a second faster, which is pretty good. And I caught you. I could pull next to you, and then you could make it really hard on me to get by. And so that's what from a distance that looks like a good race, but what we would be doing right then is slowing ourselves down. And so you'd be negating my 0.2 of a second that I had on you and maybe the guy in front of you. So that's the struggle we have out there. It looks good, but man, it's tough to actually make ground up through the field.
Go ahead, front row, Al Pierce. Then we'll go Mike Embry.
That's a good question. That's good.
And then we'll go Jay in the back in the corner.
Carl, some of the chase guys are adamantly opposed to a separate point system just for chase guys. They think it should be everybody. Well, what do you feel about the point system?
Everything that you do has there'll be an unintended consequence or the potential for one. So if we have our own point system, separate from the other guys, then that gives you the opportunity to have someone to really benefit someone and not someone else based on chance. If I run 12th at this race and 11 guys in front of me are chase guys, then yeah, I'm the 12th slowest chase guy. If I run 43rd and everybody else runs 1 through 11, then I don't know if I really deserve to be counted as just right behind that 11th place guy. So there's you have the chance to have a guy that runs a way better average year finish behind a guy that just because of the way it shook out statistically, he, you know what I'm saying? So I think the way it is fine as long as we're all competing under the same rules. It'll be good. But once you start making it more complex, the chase by itself automatically gives the opportunity for someone to win that maybe was not the strongest team that year. And I think once you add more, it's going farther down that slope.
Let's go Mike Embry, Jay Hart, and back in the corner.
If somebody leads 150 laps here Sunday, wins the race by 3 seconds, how does that impact everybody else in the chase? Is that a big downer going forward for the other guys, emotionally, mentally?
I don't know if it happened here, it'd be frustrating. Unless, I'd sure like to lead by that much, and win. That'd be good. But I think everyone knows that the meat of the chase is, these mile-and-a-half tracks and Dover and California. We know that if someone goes to the first mile-and-a-half track and does that, then that's a little scary. But here, the only thing that this is going to really relate to will be, turns 3 and 4 at Phoenix. So you definitely want to get a good start, but I don't think anyone can set the tone of the chase here, just because it's kind of a unique track.
Let's go Jay Hart and then PRN.
Jay Hart, Yahoo Sports. Carl, everybody obviously is gunning for Jimmy. Why you? Why can you be the guy that beats him for this title?
I think that we've proven over the last 10 weeks that we can score more points than anyone in the series, and that's what it's going to take. So, that's what Jimmy did a good job last week of explaining that you got to have something, to hang your hat on going into this thing. You got to, you either got to have wins or you got to, you got to have been very consistent. You got to have some sort of thing to build your team around. That's what we're building our hopes around, is the fact that we've shown that we can run over an extended period. We can score a better average finish than everyone else, and now we just have to go do that. So that's what I'm counting on, is the ability to do that.
Go ahead.
Carl, Brad Gilley, PRN. As you approach these first races in the chase, do you maybe take like the first 3 or so and say, okay, I'm going to race these maybe a little more cautious so we don't get behind, and then maybe when you've established your position, is there a point where you can say, okay, now we can go?
That's a tough call to make. I mean, I thought that way, and then I started thinking, that's maybe it's better to go out here and try to gain something these first few races and take advantage of everyone being cautious. The bottom line is you want to come out of these first few races. You don't want to be behind. You know what I mean? So I think you've got to drive aggressively and take chances right up to the point where you're wrecking or you're doing something really silly, running out of fuel or something. But because if you don't, someone else is, and they're going to be the guy that's leading the points after 3 races. So yeah, I guess it's a really fine balance between, you don't want to go easy, but you can't really screw up. I know I didn't answer your question, but I still haven't decided how I'm going to do it.
Let's come back up here to Al Pierce.
Carl, a non-chase related question. Talk about the ROC, the race in Germany next month.
Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. We're going to Dusseldorf, Germany. Travis Pastrana and I got to talk to him about it for the first time last night live on ESPN. I was a little shocked. His excitement level was that unlike other forms of motorsports, they let you run into the wall one time on each run at the Race of Champions. It's like, Travis, that's not how we need to approach this. But he's a very fun guy, and he's a living legend, and it'll be fun to go race alongside of him and represent the United States. And he's an extremely accomplished rally racer, so I think I'll be able to learn some things, and really it's just, man, it's fun. You guys should go over there if anybody wants to go over there and cover it. It's a neat event. There's Sebastian Loeb, Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel, a bunch of guys, and I don't know, is Ekstrom going to be there? Do you know this year? Matthias Ekstrom. Yeah, well, we had a good time last time I went with him. He's a very, very fun guy, and it's just different cars, a different environment, and It's in the soccer stadium, and I think it has an opening roof,
Retractable.
a retractable roof. Yeah, and I think it's the biggest one in the world. They said or something. So it'll be fun, and just excited. It's an honor to go do it. Hopefully, we can win. Yeah, what they do is they have the Race of Champions itself is an individual event, and then they have the countries compete against one another in kind of a points thing or elimination thing. So we'll be racing for America and then racing for ourselves.
Okay, Dustin Long, final question.
I was a little late getting here, Matt.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Carl, in this season of Boys Have At It, or NASCAR allowing you guys to police each other a little more, if somebody that is not a chase contender, gets a payback on a chase contender, whomever, how should NASCAR view that, and should NASCAR take into consideration, if there is to be any kind of penalty, that it would be a chase guy and it could impact a championship, or is it in essence the guy is SOL?
I think you just got to look at every situation, and I think NASCAR does a pretty good job of that. So, I don't see that really happening. I think we've all shown we race pretty well together, and even when we do have issues, we've been able to kind of compartmentalize those or keep them isolated to one track or something. And that's been pretty good. So I don't really see that happening. I think it'll be fine.
So it shouldn't be, if it does happen, it shouldn't be a consideration. This is the chase. This is a different time.
Well, I would think that I can't see somebody really doing that. You know what I mean? I don't. But you never know. I mean, heck, I guess we'll just see what happens, and we'll deal with it when it happens. But I don't think it will.
Carl, thanks so much. Good luck this weekend.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.